Sometimes, years after I've heard from someone that he is writing a memoir, I will hear from that same writer again. Perhaps it's 3 or 4 or 5 years later, and the writer is working on the same memoir, but he's not close to finishing, not even close. I don't get it. So I ask politely, what has snagged your memoir? In short, it seems to me that the writer has taken too long to write his memoir. So how long does it take to write a memoir, you might ask? Before we look into how long it takes, I want to welcome you to the Memoir Network's Better Memoir Writing Masterclasses. For those of you who do not know me, I am Denis Ledoux. I'm a writer, I'm a teacher, and the founder of the Memoir Network. I'm so pleased that you have joined me today for this video. This masterclass is brought to you by the Memoir Network's coaching services. A writing coach offers you just-in-time solutions, be it encouraging you to persevere, providing you technical guidance, teaching specific writing skills, and so much more. Schedule a complimentary Get Acquainted session by going to the address listed in the description of this video. Oh yes, and I'll also have a bonus for you at the end of this video. Now let's get back to the masterclass. So how long does it take to write a memoir, you ask again? Well, I don't actually know the answer to how long does it take to write a memoir. What I know is a memoir needn't take so long to create as many people do take. People get bogged down in the writing. A memoir, an interesting and meaningful one, let's say under 200 pages, can be written in as short a time as 12 to 24 months. If that's so, then why do some memoirs drag on and risk never getting completed? Here are some reasons your memoir may be taking you a long time to see the light of day. The first reason, you are fearful of the reaction you might receive from a published book. You prefer never finishing the book to facing your fears of negative reactions. Who wants to hear, this memoir is what you spent 5 years writing? Really? In this sort of negative scenario, the answer to how long does it take to write a memoir is obviously longer than I'm taking, so I can put off having to ever share it. A second reason, you are a perfectionist who is forsaking good for perfect. But how many times can a line be rewritten before it's just substitution rather than improvement? Should the sentence read, I went to my home, or should it read, I went to my house? Yes, I've counseled writers who were stuck right there, and they changed home to house, and then changed back to home and house and home and house. Yes, this is an actual experience with an actual client. I consider this minutiae a complete waste of time. Let's just move on, shall we? A third reason, you're enjoying being a writer. You are apprehensive that finishing the memoir will be the end of your creative run. You are afraid you cannot come up with another book idea or another creative project. If you enjoy writing, I can assure you, you will come up with an idea. But if you really can't come up with one, be in touch with me, and I guarantee you that together we will come up with a new book for you. A fourth reason, you are indisciplined and never finish anything. Here, some focus on scheduling and goal setting would be in order. While the writing itself of a memoir provides benefits, so does the experience of publishing and having a reading audience. If this is you, that you are indisciplined and never finish anything, read the articles at thememoirnetwork.com on scheduling and goal setting. They should help. Reason number 5, you are simply lacking in confidence in your ability to write. You probably write and rewrite. Now, you are different here from the perfectionist in that the changes are induced not by a quest for excellence as with the perfectionist for the quest of an elusive perfection, but by insecurity focused on how bad your writing is and not on how good it ought to be. With a little attention, you can really enormously improve your writing. That's what a coach can really help you with. Of course, any of these reasons will mire your memoir in protracted composition. It's possible that if you are laboring under any of these handicaps, that you will never finish writing your story. What a sad outcome that would be after all you've invested in writing. So let's go back to the question, how long does it take to write a memoir? Okay, so you still want the answer to that, how long does it take, and are hoping to find a way to shorten the amount of time it takes to finish a memoir. Well, I will offer you first the following suggestions before making another stab at how long it might take to write a memoir. Suggestion number 1. Set a deadline by which the book will be completed. Be realistic about the end date. Take in work, family, and any contingencies in your life into account. But challenge yourself, too, to keep your nose to the grindstone. Like any goal, writing a memoir needs a projected date by which it will presumably be completed. I can tell you that so many clients, after they have buckled down to a schedule, report that the writing becomes something they look forward to, and it becomes easier to write on schedule, and they begin to see their pages adding up and their memoir heading towards a conclusion. Suggestion number 2. Break various tasks into subtasks. For instance, there's research, gathering photos, writing first draft, and so forth. And also create deadlines for each of these. I will have my photos gathered by such and such a date. I will have the research done on my parents' hometown by such a date. This will make each phase of the project less daunting and keep you focused on your ultimate deadline. Focusing on writing a short section, let's say just 5 pages, will make you a happier writer than being weighed down with the burden of writing a whole memoir, 200, 300 pages. No. Today you're writing 5 pages. That's all you're writing today. Suggestion number 3. Accept that you will miss writing something in your memoirs. Perhaps it's even missed something that is quite important, and become comfortable with that. You can include the missing part in your next book. What is important to remember is that your theme ought to be fully developed. Your theme is generally more important than specific data. Theme is more important than including every detail in your life story. So pay attention to your theme more than to including all of the data. 4. Plan another project. This is the writer in me speaking. Planning another project, and here I'm going to suggest a writing project, but it needn't be a writing project, will create some anticipation in yourself for finishing the current book project and for moving on to the next project. So let's get back to the question that interests you. How long does it take to write a memoir? Well, generally speaking, I would say it is appropriate to think that a memoir writing project for a book of 200 or fewer pages should perhaps take 2 years or less, and a book of 200 to 300 pages would take you perhaps 2 to 3 years or even a little less. Oh yes, and here is the link to another video that complements this one. It's called How to Finish Your Memoir. Write on your memoir today. Remember, inch by inch it's a cinch, yard by yard it's hard. Good luck.